In this video, I will show you the tools I use to find lost YouTube media. Do note, you won't be able to find every lost video using these methods, but you might be able to find some information. The first tool you're going to need is the most important one if you want to download and archive YouTube media. That being an open source command line tool called YTDLP. It's pretty easy to install. Starting with Windows, it has a pretty decent package manager these days. It's called Winget. It's probably one of the best things to ever happen to Windows. You can open up command prompt, PowerShell, or the Windows terminal to access it. You might have to run whatever terminal application you're using as administrator, but even if you don't, it will ask you for admin rights when installing stuff through Winget. So to get started with Winget, you just type Winget into the prompt. This will tell you everything you need to know about Winget, all the commands and flags, but there are only 4 commands you really need to know. That being install, search, upgrade, and uninstall. You can search for YTDLP by typing winget search YT-DLP. As you can see, YTDLP is in fact in the Winget repository. To install it, just type winget install YTDLP, and it will download YTDLP and its dependencies. Now, some programs might not be as simple as that due to how Winget works. If you search for a program, you can see this ID tag that is associated with each program. You might have to copy this ID and paste it to install certain programs, but YTDLP works just fine in this case. After the installation, you need to reset the terminal application you're using. After resetting, you should be able to type YT-DLP and it should give you some feedback. That means it's installed and working. Now I'll show you an alternative way to install YT-DLP. You can download it from the project's GitHub page. Go to the releases page and download the latest binary for your operating system. In this case, I'm going to download the Linux executable. Once you download the binary, on Linux systems, you gotta make it executable using the command chmod. And you want to put chmod plus x and then the name of the executable. And now you can run YTDLP. Now, if you want to run the executable without having to go to a certain directory, you have to do an extra step. On Windows, you make it an environment variable. And on Linux, you move the binary to the /user/local/bin directory. You do need root permissions to do this. I'll show you how to add it as an environment variable on Windows, and then I'll be done with the installation process. First, download the Windows executable, which is yt-dlp.exe. Now you can keep it in the downloads directory, but I'd recommend making a special directory for it. In this case, I made an apps folder in the home directory and cut and paste the executable into it. Then you want to open settings, go to system, scroll down to about, and under device specifications, click advanced system settings. This will open up system properties, and under the advanced tab, you'll find environment variables. This will open the environment variables window, and you'll see user variables, which will be only available to that user, and system variables, which will be available system-wide to any user. In most cases, user variables are what you're going to use. Environment variables pretty much just point the command line shell at a bunch of directories that contain executable programs and scripts. To add your own program, click the path variable, and you'll see some presets here. You want to click browse to add your directory that contains the YTDLP executable. In my case, I put it in the apps folder in my user's home directory. Once you've added it, just click OK on all windows. Now, reset the terminal application and you should be able to type YTDLP. If you get an output from YTDLP, then it's working. Now, that's about it for installing. Now I'll show you how to use it. To use YTDLP, it's fairly simple. Go to YouTube, find a video, copy its link, and then open the terminal and type YTDLP and paste the link. You can choose what directory to download to just by navigating to it. You can change the directory using the cd commands and go to the videos directory, for example. You can type dir on Windows to list the contents of the directory you're in. And on Unix systems, it's ls. This isn't going to be a command line tutorial, so I'd recommend learning some basic command line navigation if you want to go with this method. I believe there are some graphical front ends to YTDLP, but I won't be covering any because I've never used them. The command line method is perfectly fine. Now, I'll show you some really cool features that YTDLP has. The first one is a really great feature. You can download every video from a YouTube channel, except for unlisted and private videos. Just go to a channel, copy the link, and paste it into YTDLP. Now, this might take a while depending on your connection, but this downloads almost every single video on that channel. Another cool feature is YTDLP is not only limited to YouTube. You can download from other video and streaming sites such as Twitter, Twitch, Dailymotion, Vimeo, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, and various adult websites. But one of the features relevant to finding lost YouTube media is the ability to download archived videos from the Wayback Machine. If you have a link to a removed video and put it into the Wayback Machine, there's a chance that the video was archived along with the watch page. If the video is playable from the snapshot, that means it was fully archived. You can copy the entire link and paste it into YTDLP and it will download the archived video. There is a bug on the Wayback Machine where sometimes archived videos won't play and it might say it wasn't archived, so putting the link into YTDLP is a good way to check if this is the case. I've had videos that were downloaded even when the page said the video wasn't archived. It's a rare bug, but it's always worth double checking by putting the link into YTDLP. Speaking of the Wayback Machine, I'll talk briefly about it. If you have a link to a removed or private YouTube video, just put it into the Wayback Machine, and you may or may not find a snapshot from some point in time. Most of the time, only the watch page is archived and not the video. If you want to find snapshots of entire channels, there are a few methods that involve certain URL formatting. Method 1 is the channel ID. Go to a channel, click on the channel bio, and scroll down to the Share Channel button. Then you can copy the channel ID. Then in the Wayback Machine, you want to put youtube.com/channel/ and paste the channel ID. You can also use the newest method, which is the channel handles. So that would be youtube.com/@ and whatever the channel's handle is. Another method is the C method, which I'm not sure if YouTube still uses this URL format. It stands for creator and it's formatted like youtube.com/C/ and the username. This may or may not work. This final method only works on really old channels. Channels from 2005 up to about 2013. That is the old user format. That would be youtube.com/user/ and the username. So if a channel was made between 2005 to 2013, then this might be worth checking on the Wayback Machine. You can also search for tons of archived media on the Internet Archive outside of the Wayback Machine, and you might find a video you're looking for, which has happened to me a few times. The next tool is another website, that being Filmont, which is a YouTube metadata search engine. This tool tends to be useful for channels that are still around, but sometimes you can find metadata of videos from channels that have been deleted. This tool has a few features. Mainly you're going to be searching for either subtitles in a video, so if you know any lines that were said, you can search for them here. First, you can put in the channel name that you want to search, but this is optional. And then something that was said in the video. From here, if anything pops up, you can click on the username and browse everything that this channel has posted. This also includes all unlisted, private, and removed videos. This is how I get links to videos that have been removed. You can click on the missing video and it will bring up the YouTube player and tell you why this video was removed. There's this try playing from archive.org button, which will try to play a video from a Wayback Machine snapshot, if it exists. There's also this metadata tab, where you can just search for a channel or title of a video. This is best used if you don't remember anything that was said in a video, if it doesn't have any captions, or if the video had no speech at all. You can put in the title of a video, like for example, Star Engine, which is a Lost Thomas video I've covered previously. The metadata for this video was found on Filmont by this user. Now, Filmont won't find everything, mainly due to missing metadata, so this is another method that can be hit or miss. There's also this very useful script called Filmont Title Restorer. This is a script for the browser plugin GreaseMonkey, and it restores thumbnails and titles of deleted or private videos. To install it, first install GreaseMonkey, which is available for Firefox-based browsers only. For Chromium-based browsers, you want to install TamperMonkey. Then go to Filmont, click on the More tab, and you should see this text mentioning the Title Restorer script. Click on the link and it should take you to a site called Greasy Fork, which is a user repository of GreaseMonkey scripts. Click Install Script and it should bring up this window and ask you if you want to install the script. Once you click Install, it should install and show up in the GreaseMonkey menu. Now go to a playlist and enable Show Unavailable Videos, and the Filmont script should kick in, and any unavailable videos will be highlighted in blue. It will also restore the thumbnails when possible. You will also see these two icons on the side, which show the sources that the metadata was pulled from, that being Filmont and the Internet Archive. If you click on the Filmont logo, it takes you to the Filmont page of that video, where you can check the Wayback Machine for any archives. Once again, not everything is going to be archived. That's just how it goes with lost media hunting. This next tool is pretty useful for playlists. It's called Quite a Playlist, and if you paste a link to a playlist, you can see all the missing videos, and you can check to see if they were archived by the Wayback Machine. You can also paste a link to an individual video as well. It's also very handy for getting descriptions and upload dates for videos when re-uploading them. This last tool is another website and is probably the most useful one, and it's the most simple to use. It's called YouTube Video Finder. Just paste a link to a video that is unavailable and it will check various different sources for any metadata, and an archive of the video. The metadata includes thumbnails, but once again, this method isn't going to find everything. editing. And that's about it. Those are all the tools I use to find lost YouTube media, or at least just information. I've learned about these tools over the 2 years I've been doing lost media videos now, and there might be more out there. If anyone knows of any other tools that would be useful for finding lost YouTube media, let me know. I hope this video was somewhat useful, as I'm not the greatest at making tutorials. With that being said, if anyone has questions, post them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. That's all I gotta say.